Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm very excited to be joined today by Jim Endress, who is the Senior Regional Account Manager at Appian. How are you doing today, Jim?
Doing good, Andy. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely appreciate you coming on with me. You know, you and I are going to be talking about two hot topics today: modern delivery management and improving your customers' experience in logistics. Appian has been recognized with many awards in this area, and I'm going to show some of those awards right here in this section of the video.
Yeah.
But first of all, on a personal note, I want to ask you about your experience as an All-American gymnast at the University of Oklahoma, our alma mater. And what was it like to compete at that level at OU?
I got to say, Andy, it was all in all a great experience. Obviously the typical college life, which everyone enjoys, but really the camaraderie of my team, and my coaches. I learned quickly when I came to OU that I thought it was pretty good when I entered the program, and I learned quickly that competition at the collegiate level is far greater, right? So I learned everyone's good, and really to be competitive, not only do you need to be good, but you got to be good every day, right? And always on your best. It really boils down to the little things that matter, and that's really what separates you from first and second. So it was a great experience all around.
That's awesome. I can only imagine how much fun that was, but also how hard that was too at that level.
Painful.
Yes, I can totally imagine.
Yeah.
So as I'm sure the audience has seen, the Amazon effect has really changed customer delivery expectations in a big way. And Appian is working to improve delivery operations and to enhance the customer experience. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, no problem. Really kind of when you look at Amazon, Uber, Drizzly, and I can go down the list of all the different types of B2C consumer apps that are out there, right? Consumers have really become accustomed to getting things, getting what they want, when they want it, and where they want it. And really what this does is it basically gives customers full control of their delivery experience and visibility of their delivery experience, right? And this basically equates to a higher level of service, which ultimately, when you look at distribution operations, that's a high cost to the distributor, right? So what we've seen over the last 10 years is that these consumer expectations have really bled into the B2B or business to business space. And it's forced these companies to really take an internal look at how do they, their go-to-market strategy. In essence, what they're trying to do is offer that same Amazon-like experience, right? But yet do it in a manner which they remain profitable, right? Appian, so how do we address this, right? So our modern delivery management approach really kind of pulls together what a lot of people already have. Some have some pieces, some don't have it all. But it really pulls together resource level route planning, the dispatch process, execution visibility, so plan versus actual route visibility, and proof of delivery data into a single usable data interface. And really what this does is it brings to light to these distributors ways that they can improve, not only from their day-to-day operations, but they learn day-to-day, week to week, month to month, and they become more efficient. But more importantly, rather than just improve your delivery ops, what we're finding is that it's improving other functions within the business as well, such as driver management. Drivers hold a lot of knowledge in their head. And if I can learn as to what went right or wrong in a driver's day, I can improve the routing system, which ultimately will feed the system, right? If I become more accurate at my routes, I can release routes to the warehouse and they'll start dispatching trucks on time, ultimately meeting the customer's ETA or on-time performance initiatives. Customer service will stop having to answer the phone. Where's my truck, right? We're now proactively going to be notifying the customers of ETAs. And then of course, sales, right? Not all business is good business. So we're helping the sales teams to really focus on driving business in the right areas so that it's profitable to the business and good distribution business as well. And then lastly, and of course, the customer experience.
Absolutely. Things have changed a lot in the last 10 years or so in terms of expectations on the customer side. I know from personal experience, absolutely it's changed.
Sure
How did
has.
you first get involved in the fleet routing and delivery space?
So I wish I had a grandiose story, but it's just life. I worked at IBM for several years. While there, I was a network management specialist. And in that, I kind of got involved in software, right? So once I realized how much I loved the software side of technology, I kind of moved outside of IBM and took a couple other jobs. 9/11 happened and I lost my job and took a couple other jobs, lost those jobs. It was really hard to sell at that time. Being a young family man at that time, I needed a job. So I applied for every job I could find and ultimately ended up getting hired by Paragon Software Systems, which is now Appian. And I've been doing this for 16 years. It's really amazing. You learn how big distribution is when you're in it. Everything gets shipped by a truck, a train, a plane, a boat, everything you touch in life. So it's a very huge industry and you learn that quickly.
Absolutely, it is. It's a massive industry. And like you said, everything we have in our homes comes from ultimately a truck in the end.
Yeah,
a lot of other modes to get it there a lot of times as well.
absolutely.
Can you tell us about the customer experience trend that you are seeing in the transportation market right now?
Sure thing. And really it's simple. And I kind of alluded to it in my first response, but consumers really kind of expect the same experience they get with the Amazons of the world, right? And because of that, what they want is they want more flexible delivery operations or options, excuse me. Excuse me. And this is really forcing distributors to move towards more dynamic routing versus static fixed type routing. They also want to be notified of their delivery, both when is it expected to arrive and on the day of, where is my driver, right? And ultimately, rather than having to make a phone call saying, where's my truck, where's my delivery, they want to be able to check these things for themselves. So offering technologies that allow customers to serve themselves is a big play in the market. And at the end of the day, if you haven't modernized your delivery operations, you're basically operating in an unpredictable world, which leads to your customer experience suffering.
Right. And how is the Appian routing and scheduling specifically able to impact that?
Yeah, so our modern delivery approach, right? It's actually very proactive in communicating to customers in multiple formats. So that could be via text, via email, via a link that they log on to a website to track their delivery, right? So they'll get notified of the planned delivery. They'll also get notified as the day progresses with updated ETAs. And we're constantly keeping the customer in the loop of how the day is performing. While on site, through our proof of delivery app, we're capturing what actually was delivered, what wasn't. All that data is fed back to the modern delivery system, if you will, so that it feeds other business functions. And really what this approach does, it links, because we're linking routing and the execution of the routes and POD, the driver debrief process really helps you start to understand what went right, what went wrong, how can we learn from what went wrong so that we can improve our operations for the coming days, the coming weeks. And you're just basically going to get better and better day in, day out, week in, week out. And repeat and rinse, as they say.
Right. So learn from what's happened and then implement, based off of that, improvements basically and better,
exactly. Yep.
Better, more accurate routing, I would assume as well.
Yes.
And Jim, what are the best ways for people to get in touch with you?
So you can always go to our website to learn more, www.aptean.com, APTEAN.com. My personal email address is jim.endres, ENDRES, @aptean.com. Or my phone number is 817-875-6508.
Very good. And what would you say as a final word of advice for our friends out there in the transportation industry today?
I would just challenge you to explore modernizing your delivery operations. There's so many areas in which you can improve, cut costs, and improve your customer experience. And we'd be happy to talk you through our experience if you like.
Very good. Well, thank you for coming on the show with me today, Jim. I've really enjoyed talking with you both offline and here on the show as well. So thanks for coming on with me.
No, I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to future conversations, Andy.
I do as well. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Trucking Tower Podcast. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.